everyone. Yeah, this is just like a more casual stream tonight because, well, I want to do a presentation of Operation Chaos. But yeah, I've been really ill this week and really busy, so I haven't had time to put that together because it's like quite difficult to narrow it down to what I should read out, what I need to read out, and what I don't need to read out. Because I think sometimes I go overboard reading too much of these documents out. So, like, yeah, I needed a break to, read more of that and decide what I'm going to present. And I'm getting a lot of new subscribers who are saying they want to be in a live chat, and they've all joined because of the Charles Manson stuff I'm talking about. The Mama Cass videos seem to get a lot of subscribers as well. So yeah, if people want to talk about Mama Cass, yeah, I just thought I would sit and see what people want to talk about. And I've got a lot of my slides and that, so we can look at stuff and all that. What did I do today? Me. I've been around my friends. I use my friend's washing machine on a Sunday. I go around his house to do my washing every week. Got my gin tonight as well, the Tanqueray glass. You can't see the word Tanqueray, can you? Unless I really hold it up. Yeah, that's it. Gin glasses are really big. They're meant to be this big. It's a weird thing, but yeah. So yeah, I'm just sort of waiting to see what people want to talk about specifically about the Charles Manson case, because that's why most of you have subscribed to my channel. And this Operation Chaos stuff does kind of tie into it all, because there's obviously a lot of theories about the CIA being involved with the Manson case. Basically, there's people who fully believe that it was a CIA operation altogether, and that the CIA orchestrated the whole thing, aren't they? You know what I mean? So no, it's not straight gin. There's tonic in it as well. Yeah. So yeah, I probably will leave this up because people are commenting they will watch the replay. So if they can't watch it, I will leave it up. But yeah, gin will lead to ruin. No, it's trendy now, isn't it? Like, we call it Mother's Ruin, don't we? Yeah, in the UK. Strong as hell, this one as well. It's the import strength one. It's 41.3. So yeah, I won't be drinking too much of it. Yeah, I make slow gin. Well, I made it last year. I'll try and do it again this year. No ice. I haven't got any ice to put in it. You should put fruit in it as well. I should have some kind of lemon or lime or something in it. But yeah, I haven't got any fruit. Just managed to get the tonic water. And I bought the gin a few days ago because it was on offer in the supermarket. Sorry, I'm miles away from the mic. I think it's pretty sensitive though. You can hear me when I'm sat back, can't you? Ooh. So yeah, just like I say, let me know what you want to talk about, really, because I don't have a plan. I've got the full sequence of events diagram thing that we can refer back to remind everyone about all the different things. So we don't talk about the LaBiancas enough, I don't think. I think the LaBiancas is one that's a bit more of a mystery than Cielo Drive. What their actual motive was for going there and that, you know. And it's sad because it does seem to be just because the LaBiancas weren't such famous people. But yeah, it is a more baffling one why they chose the LaBiancas. But it's more than they tell us. Like, they tell us in the official version that they just randomly chose that house, but they obviously did. They weren't unknown to the Manson family because they had stayed at Harold True's, the house next door, hadn't they? All of that. So there's stuff they're covering up there. There's stuff they don't want us to know. You know, we have to examine it. And we don't talk about the LaBiancas enough. All the discussion is around, you know, the Cielo Drive crimes because they're the more horrible ones. But the LaBianca murders were horrible. If that's, you know, your interest in the case. It's not mine though, really. It wasn't the actual the murders that was. It was, you know, the fact that they misled us so much about the motive that piqued my interest in this case. I'm not really into true crime that much, you know. Truth be told, it's weird that I've spent years making a true crime channel, but all because of this case, really. Yeah, well, he's supposed to have driven them there, isn't he? And walked in with Tex initially, and the girls went out in the car, and then Patricia and Leslie went in after them, I think. So yeah, he went in there, and he's supposed to have tied up Lino and Rosemary, but it doesn't look like Rosemary was ever tied up. Lino definitely was, because his hands were really badly, like really tightly tied up, so bad that there was skin slippage. So like it was like looked like they'd tortured him almost. So like there's something off about what they say Charlie did. I wonder if what Charlie really did when he was in the house, because it doesn't look like Rosemary was ever tied up. And if you look at all the blood evidence and the autopsy reports and all that, it looks like the pillowcases were put over their head after they died, or Lino at least. So like there's stuff off about what they tell us actually happened when Charlie went in there. Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's an interview with Lino's first wife who said that a copper told her that. Yeah, one of the policemen told her that Lino had gone over and confronted them about a loud party at Harold True's. Yeah. No, I don't think he denied being there. I know Leslie denied he was there. When she was talking about it in court, she denied he was there. He was the one who drove them there. I don't think he denied being there, though, no. But yeah, I know Leslie tried to make out that it wasn't him that drove them there and all that sort of shit. This is a lot of people say that's if you try and bring that up, people say it's a smear campaign or whatever. But it's LSD. She's supposed to have been like dealing large quantities of LSD or something, isn't she? But yeah, there's no hard evidence of that. She was never like arrested for it or anything like that. So like, there's no. Yeah, and the Gerardo Rivera Manson interview. Manson says we went after who was doing bad. Yeah, so they had their own reasons for picking the people. They weren't just random victims. Like they wanted us to believe that they were. They weren't just going to. Well, Cielo Drive as well. It's like how can they say that was random even, with all the connection to Terry Melcher and all that, even though they definitely knew Terry Melcher wasn't there. So if they were after Terry Melcher, why wouldn't they just go to his house and get him? Yeah, that's at the LaBiancas because they supposedly got money to take to the Satans from the LaBiancas because that's when he goes and pays off the straight Satans, isn't it? So how did they get? Where did they get the money from? Well, you're on the Isle of Wight, are you? Oh wow. Yeah. It's actually been good weather for it. It's actually been warm down here, isn't it? You haven't had rain. It does seem random for the LaBiancas because of the driving pattern. Used to do the drive every weekday. Sparns, Fair Oaks Boulevard, Pasadena, Los Feliz, Silver Lake, Pasadena. Is old money. Yeah, so it does seem like they were targeting the rich areas of town as well, definitely, doesn't it? Like the places where they went. Disney. Oh, what, you're in Ride, are you? Bloody hell. Yeah, I'm in Ride. I'm working tomorrow. Yeah, well, he says that now. Harold True says that now. But it's like apparently they were there for quite a while. Who knows what really happened there. But they did tend to piss people off, apparently. Yeah, they got driven out of the hog farm when they went to the hog farm, didn't they? And stuff like that. So maybe Harold True really did kick them out. But I think a lot of people made up shit, said, oh no, we never liked him and we always thought they was weird, like once the murders had happened, but we'll never really know what happened. Yeah, that's it. Both murders were probably over drugs and money. And Lino had a lot of dealings with like mob people as well. He had gambling debts and all that. So how do we know? It wasn't something to do with that. Charlie wasn't somehow acting. Yeah, the one called Tony's. If you're in Ride, the one is that'll be bloody shut now, won't they? Tony's the one that's by it's in the High Street in Ride. Is the best one, I think. Well, in my opinion, they're all so expensive now, aren't they? It's so bad. Yeah, that's it. And why Charlie never came back to pick them up or arranged a vehicle to pick them up, just left them. Yeah, if they had a vehicle, they could have just filled it up with all the valuables, couldn't they? But apparently they did take more coins than, was revealed in court and stuff like that. I think it is Barbara Hoyt talks about it in her book or whatever. She says that she saw Leslie counting lots of coins, not just a few coins. And dresses, they took more clothes and all that sort of thing. Yeah, I think Charles Manson, the glasses left at the Tate House, I think that was Charles Manson did it just to confuse people, just to confuse the cops or something like that. It was something that Charles Manson admitted to later. Where did he admit to that? Someone in the chat's got to know. But I'm sure that's something, yeah, Charles Manson said that he did just to confuse the cops when he went back. Oh, he was out drinking earlier. Yeah, no, I haven't been out over this weekend. We was down the town on yesterday, Saturday. Actually, we sat outside Tony's, the fish and chip shop I was telling you about. It's a shame. You should join my Facebook group. Then you could have said. If you use Facebook, a lot of people don't use Facebook. I don't know where else to set up a group though that people could use. Because standalone forums, we haven't got enough people to merit having a whole bloody forum. Yeah. Is Leslie allowed to do interviews? I can't see why. Oh, she wouldn't be allowed. But would she want to as well? She probably wants the anonymity, doesn't she? If she's wise. I don't know. But I think hasn't she already spoken on a podcast or something while she was in prison? Well, I can't remember, yeah, but she probably will do some kind of podcast to people that are really sympathetic to her, won't they? Won't she, or something like that? I imagine in the end. Yeah, back to the Manson murders though. Well, Leslie is part of the Manson murders too, but yeah, it was like the Wonderland murders. Well, that appears to be over the people that they killed had robbed another drug dealer, hadn't they? And they just ran around and killed everyone in the house. Yeah. Yeah, the acid burger fiasco. Yeah, she's the one. Barbara Hoyt. Yeah, in her book, she says that she saw Leslie counting a lot of coins. It wasn't just a few coins they took, so they must have sold some of the coins. Some of them were never found. No, it's gin. Have you only just joined? Yeah, did you miss it? Yeah, it's Tanqueray. You can see it on the glass. This is my friend got me this for Christmas. My favourite Christmas present, the Tanqueray gin glass. It's this. There, that's it. You can see the writing there, can't you? London dry gin. Yeah, Leslie. I don't know yet if she would even be out of the halfway house at this point. If she's even been set up. But I imagine she's gonna be given like an anonymous witness protection style life, isn't she? No one will know where she is, and she'll have the right to anonymity, won't she? And she'll decide whether she gives that up. But it's not like she can hide what she looks like now because she's been filmed at all her probation hearings, so she can't hide her appearance, can she? Yes. Yeah, the glasses, Megazorlax says, the glasses were from the lost and found at the Spam Ranch, and they used to start fires with them, holding them up to the sunlight. Yeah. Sorry, just looking at the chat for a second. Did he have the coins in the UK? I don't know, yeah, because Nicholas claims he has it from a good source that he took the drugs to the UK from Cielo Drive and sold them in London and Manchester. Yeah, it's a shame. If you join my Facebook group, that's the only other way to contact me, or leaving comments on like the community tab or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I can't see why she wouldn't be allowed to do interviews if she doesn't. Yeah, if she wanted to, but I imagine she would want the anonymity though, wouldn't she? I don't know. Yeah, he did visit the UK several times. So we went. There's a video of us going to the cottage that belongs to the Scientologist that he stayed in. Me and Nicholas, Shrek, and a couple of other people. 3 or 4 other people. We all went to the Scientology cottage where he stayed. And he's supposed to have the second time he came. He's supposed because he's been suspected of killing Joel Pugh, hasn't he? Who died in London, but I don't believe he did. I don't think there's enough to connect him to that. But yeah, he apparently bought drugs from Cielo Drive, the Cielo Drive crime, to London and sold them. Oh. Yeah, well, this is the thing. I think it's her boyfriend Joe Dorgan that he's supposed to have known, who's involved with another bike gang. Because there was actually a couple of bike gangs involved with Spahn Ranch. Can't remember which one he was involved with, but Tex is supposed to have known her boyfriend. And my sort of weird gut feeling about the LaBiancas as well is that it was some kind of insurance fraud thing, and they wanted them to come in and tie them up and pretend to take their valuables. Because people have pointed out it's weird that they had all their valuables just lined up in the living room like that. You know, the coin collection and everything was just all out in the living room. And so I think they were supposed to come in, tie them up, and rob them so they could claim insurance. But somehow it got spun on them and they got killed, basically, or something like that. That's just sort of my weird feeling about it. And that's why the dogs didn't bark and they let them in and they appeared to be cooperating with them. That maybe it was supposed to just be a staged robbery. And they didn't know that they were responsible for the CLO Drive crimes, obviously, when they submitted to them coming in and that. And it wasn't until they were in the process of it happening that they spun on them and killed them, sort of thing. Gin, I just told you, Dave. Aren't you listening? It's gin I'm drinking. Yes, yeah, I've seen fucking the litter pickers found holdalls full of cocaine. I haven't been for a walk along the beach for a long time. Yeah, I should go and have a look. It's big, fucking huge. They've shown pictures of it on the news tonight. Yeah, massive, great big holdalls. Must be thousands and thousands of pounds worth of cocaine. Yeah, I don't know when her next parole hearing is. I doubt she will, though, because she's not as popular as Leslie, is she? And she's the one who probably did actually do more of the actual stabbing and that. So, like, people would think she's less deserving of it, aren't they? Hello, Frankie. Did you make it? Jolly good. Oh, sorry. I was like, where you living, Lowestoft? I came there for New Year's Eve for a bloody New Year's Eve do that Justin Hawkins put on. So I was on his Patreon, and he put on a event for his fans, sort of thing. We were on his Patreon. But yeah, no, I haven't found any of the cocaine that washed up on the beach, unfortunately. But yeah, you have to hand it in. And they haven't worked out where it's from yet. Presumably some boat's gone down somewhere, or some boat was about to get busted, so they threw it all over the side. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about the Isle of Wight as well. A lot of the people don't realise, but a lot of drugs get smuggled into the UK through the Isle of Wight. You know, they come from the Isle of Wight and then it's shipped up to London. Because we don't have like a border control as you get on the ferries, you know, like to go to and from the Isle of Wight. No one searches you automatically, you know. If they suspect you're smuggling something, the police have to come and wait for you and jump on you as you are leaving the island, you know. But they'd get you as you walked off the ferry on the other side, I assume, to prove that you were carrying it over, you know, to the mainland. But yeah, we don't have like a border control point or anything like that, so it's easy to just, you know, you can drive on with a car onto the ferry and then no one looks at your car or searches your car unless they suspect you or something, you know, so quite easy. Oh, do you know how many Vex as well? 15 miles from Lowy. Yeah, I went there by coach as well. It was crazy. What did I do? No, that was it. I went to Norwich. I got to Norwich by coach, and then I got the train from Norwich to Lowestoft because that was going to be cheaper than trying to get there by train. And the trains, it was a time because it was around Christmas time, so the trains were striking a lot, weren't they? They were just unpredictable. Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like quite a nice town. It was like, you know, it's obviously the middle of winter though, when it's everything shut down, so you couldn't. It wasn't like the best weather to go walking on the beach and that. But it reminded me of Sandown on the Isle of Wight, weirdly enough, but bigger. It just seemed slightly bigger, but yeah, it's very very similar to Sandown on the Isle of Wight. The way the beach is designed and all that, same must have been the same sort of Victorian architecture that was designed there. Oh yeah, Black Gang Chine's nice. And me and Frankie came over. We went to Shanklin Chine. That's nice as well. You have to pay to go in. But if you pay to go in during the day, you can get in on the same ticket to see it illuminated at night. Because we were coming back on a motorbike, we didn't stay till it got really dark. But that's really nice, lit up at night, Shanklin Chine. Can't meant to be talking about Charles Manson. Well, yeah, whatever people want to talk about. Like I say, there's a chance for new subscribers. He said they wanted to be in the live chat, basically. And because I haven't been talking about Charles Manson at all the last stream, so I'm feeling sorry for these people that have subscribed to the channel expecting me to be talking about it. Yeah. Yeah, Frankie enjoyed it. Yeah, I did post photos on my Facebook, but you'd have to be my Facebook friend to see that, I suppose, wouldn't you? Like I say, this channel, I don't really do much vlogging on it, do I? This is because it's a true crime live streaming channel. I kind of feel like I should set up another channel if I was going to do, like vlogs, as they say, about my life, sort of thing. I want to keep the two things separate. I don't want to merge the two things on one channel, sort of thing. Oh yeah, that will be interesting. Yeah, did she ever know Mike Jeffries? Because he died in a plane crash only a couple of years after Hendrix, I think, as well. But he confessed to James Wright, the roadie James Wright, that he killed Hendrix, and some sound engineer in America as well. I read he confessed it to. Yeah, they can't stop her now, can they? And she was, even when she was in prison. She did have boyfriends when she was in prison, didn't she? Yeah, she started to have relationships. Yeah, we were talking about that. Where is she now? I'm guessing she would still be in the sort of halfway house point of it, wouldn't she? I doubt she's actually out in the community yet, in her own house. It'll be very very gradual, her release, won't it? After all the years she's been in prison. And when she does get finally released, it'll probably be with a new name and to a totally, anonymous location, won't it? And she'll be able to choose whether she is anonymous or not, basically, won't she? Yeah, she probably has a strict curfew and all that sort of shit. Yeah, she's like being on a tag, innit? What do you call that in America? We call it being on a tag in the UK, where you have the bracelet and you have to be home by a certain point, or it goes off and you get taken to prison. We call that being on a tag. But yeah, it's probably something like that, isn't it? Like she has to be home by a certain time. Or... Yeah, that's it. Yeah. When can she go all the way into the house? Yeah, it seems cruel, doesn't it? Making her. Yeah, it's shocking. Yeah, because I've never done a stream about that, have I? But a long time ago, on a blog, I wrote like a few articles on my blog about Jimi Hendrix's death, because at the time it wasn't like that widely discussed. But now, yeah, it's pretty much a given. Yeah, people, and it was his manager for the money, not because he was a CIA. Though he did have some links to the military. So like there were some books I've read that suggest it was some kind of military assassination. Like it was MI5 or whatever. But no, I think the most obvious answer is always the one, and when he confessed it to James Wright, he said it was because he was about to leave his management, and that was going to ruin him. So that was why he did it, basically. And he would have got, yeah, it was his manager, Mike Jeffries, and he did it himself as well. Apparently, he didn't even send someone else around to do it, but he must have had other people with him. I don't know who the hell else he took with him, but someone must have restrained him because Hendrix was a soldier. So he would have been able to fight his way out of restraint. So it must have taken a couple of guys to hold him down while they did it, because apparently they poured wine into his lungs, like jam the bottle down the throat, sort of thing, and poured it into his lungs, and then tied a scarf around his neck tight. Horrible. Drowned him, basically. It's like dry drowning, isn't it? So he didn't choke on vomit. It was when they took the scarf off, undigested wine gushed out his mouth. It wasn't vomit. I think she was Russian, Monica Damman. Yeah, I wonder. Well, I've always thought there was something dodgy about her, and she wasn't just his girlfriend. I've always thought she was, because when I started to write the articles, people started to comment on blogger blogs. You can just comment anonymously. There's no way to find out who that person is unless they've got a blog profile themselves. You can't contact the people, but people would comment, and they said weird stuff about because the night that he died, he was around other people's house having a meal, and she was waiting outside in the car. He didn't want her to come in with him, and she was ringing the buzzer constantly while they were trying to eat dinner. And in the end, he left embarrassed. They obviously didn't have a privacy button to turn the buzzer off. And so I always thought it was weird that she seemed to be trying to get him to come back to the flat for a certain time, because she knew when Mike Jeffries and co were going to come around. And people suggested as well she was jealous because she wanted him all to herself, but he wasn't like a one-woman man sort of thing. He was always going to play around. And so she was like, if I can't have you, no one will, sort of thing. So when she heard that they wanted to kill him, she was in on it, sort of thing, because she wanted him all to herself. And she spent the rest of her life obsessed with him and drawing weird, creepy paintings of him and all that, didn't she? Terrible. And then in the end, she carbon monoxide poisoned herself after she wrote a book, and Kathy Etchingham sued her for lying about her, basically. No, it is pretty much. Eric Burden changed his story as well from the animals. Said that he didn't just get the answer phone message, he went round there and he helped Monica Damman do clean up around the flat, and he saw Hendrix dead on the bed with wine all around him. It wasn't, like she said, because she said that he was still alive in the morning when she went out to buy cigarettes, and when she came back, he was choking on vomit, and she called the ambulance and that. But that's just bullshit, apparently. She just fucking made all that up. There was no one in the flat when the ambulance arrived, and he'd been dead for hours by the sound of things. Yeah, Halloween as well. I'm going to put together, because one of the big things I wanted to do for the Manson case was, having looked at the trial transcript, because I was just looked at Susan's grand jury testimony quickly, and was amazed by what she actually said in court when I looked it all up. Like, she actually didn't say. So a lot of the wild quotes of all the really vicious things that she said are probably from what she said to journalists or in books or in interviews later. What she actually said in court is very different to what people think she said. But I bet, yeah, she said vicious stuff in interviews or when she was talking to writers or whatever. Or it's probably just writers embellishing what she actually said to them even. But yeah, I wanted to do that. So maybe on Halloween I will do what Susan Atkins actually said in court stream for Halloween. Well, I won't do it on Halloween night. I'll do it like the week of Halloween sort of thing. I think it falls on a Tuesday, doesn't it? So I could even change the night that I do it and do it on a Tuesday night, just to have done it on Halloween, because I'll be off work unless Weatherspoons gives me work, because I've got another bloody job now as well. I clean the pub at night sometimes. Oh, you have the day after Halloween off. Jolly good. Like, Janice choked to death on a ham sandwich. And I think you're getting your rock stars muddled up. Oh, Mark will be sacrificing a virgin on Halloween. Was Janice murdered also? That's the $1 million question as well, isn't it? Because from the sound of things, she knew what she was doing with heroin. So it does seem unlikely she'd accidentally overdose unless the stuff was unexpectedly strong. And people speculate that she, was deliberately given heroin that would kill her. And that she dated a guy that was a CIA agent or something, and she might have heard something or seen something or whatever. That's like the vague conspiracy theory I've heard about Janis Joplin's death. But it does seem strange that she would OD, because it sounded like she was quite experienced and knew what she was doing with heroin. But stuff can just accidentally happen to be too strong as well. It doesn't necessarily mean anyone fucking killed her, It could just been an accident. Oh yeah, JFK. was clearly suicide. Yeah. Oh, she choked on a heroin sandwich. All right, was it autocorrect? You meant Janis Joplin choked on a heroin sandwich, right? Yeah, yeah. Autocorrect changed it to ham sandwich. Ah, right. I hadn't heard that as well because yeah, that can happen. Yeah, look at that. Did a lot of people die in the area that week because of strong heroin? So it might have really just been an accident. Yeah. On the crazy thing as well about Jim Morrison's death. Well, apparently this has been common knowledge well, not common knowledge, but it's been known, and the Doors mentioned it as far back as about 5 years. But Jim Morrison didn't die in the hotel room. He actually died in the toilets of a club in France, and they moved his body back to that hotel room where he was finally reported dead. And he's supposed to have died of a heroin overdose. But there's a chance because the drugs were handed to him and it was for Pamela. And so the guy just handed him the package and said, "This is for Pamela." And there's a chance he thought it was cocaine. And he went into the bathroom and tried to snort it. So, like Pulp Fiction, basically, what happens in Pulp Fiction? He thought the powder was going to be cocaine, and when he snorted it, it wasn't. It was really strong heroin, and he OD'd and died. And so that's what actually happened to Jim Morrison. But that's crazy as well. I want to hear more detail of how the fuck they moved his body back to that hotel room without anyone seeing them. Was it like Weekend at Bernie's? Were they propping him up as they walked him up the stairs and like making him wave to them? Oh my god, it gets quite sick, doesn't it? Yes, the French Count, matey. Yes, this is it. Is Frankie here still? Because Frankie told me all about this because it's obviously in the French media more. Because the guy that owned the club obviously has a lot of stories and has written books and has given interviews about it. But he admitted it years ago. He just didn't. He covered it up because he didn't want to lose his license. But the fucking club's gone now, or he doesn't own the club or whatever, so he don't give a shit. Yeah, that's another thing as well. It is weird how these people, so many of them, it suggests that yeah, they maybe saw something. But then there's people like Marianne Faithfull who survived it. Oh, and then Anita Pallenberg lived to an old age, didn't she? You know what I mean? I think it is just the luck of the draw, and you're just lucky if you don't OD, or if there's people around to call a doctor to inject you with whatever to stop you from ODing. It's just really is just luck. Whether these women are really being bumped off. Mm. Bobby Fuller, is he the one that is actually mentioned in the Barely Sociable video? I think that's the name of the lad, yeah. And they tried to set fire to the car. And he actually died from inhalation of the petrol fumes, the poor bugger. He wasn't dead. But he didn't burn, yeah. What, Jim Morrison? Yeah, because that's the other thing about his death. People say it was just his heart. But no, apparently the truth was this really strong gear. Because Marianne Faithfull has admitted it as well because she was at the count. And she says she heard he was going out to give the drugs to Jim for Pamela, and she got a bad feeling about it, so she didn't go. Yeah, but yeah, and the drugs could have induced the heart failure or whatever, you know what I mean? But Marianne Faithfull, you don't know who Marianne Faithfull is? Come on, the blonde one that went out with Mick Jagger, was at the Redlands bust and all that. Yeah, and Anita Pallenberg, yeah, was a massive, massive drug user apparently too. Yeah, I think we'd be bothered phoning an ambulance. Yeah, if anyone even notices. Yeah. These women are quiet anyway at the best of times, aren't they? Don't say much. Just sit there looking pale and withered. Yeah, heart failure. Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people, my friends who've died of apparent drug overdoses, when they actually do the inquest and the autopsy and all that, it turns out their organs just failed. They hadn't actually overdosed. They hadn't taken enough of the drug to overdose. It was actually just finally their organs packed up from all the years of abuse, sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And with drugs like heroin as well, because there's no like standards to how expensive the drugs are. To how to how strong the drugs are. There's no standardized way to find out, is there? It's just whatever the batch is. And fentanyl now is a problem, isn't it? Heroin being cut with fentanyl. And people not expecting it to be that strong. Hmm. Well, Sky has done another show. I'll have to look out for that. Yeah, because my friend's got Sky. Yeah, Jim was known, for heavily drinking. But yeah, apparently he wasn't as into drugs as is made out by some of the fucking films and all that, yeah. But I think, no, that sounds plausible that he thought it was cocaine and he felt tired or whatever and he just was going to have a little sniff and it wasn't. It was heroin. And heroin, you only take a minute dose of heroin, so just one little sniff would be enough to kill you if you didn't take heroin. And he didn't take heroin, did he? So I think, yeah, that's really what happened. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Bobby Fuller was force-fed petrol-based criminal manager. Yeah, that's it. It's terrible, isn't it? Cool, yeah, and that Mae Brussel essay that I read out as well. She talks about a police officer, no, a private detective, sorry, who was hired to investigate. Yeah, he was hired by the record companies to investigate why all the rock stars were getting so high. And it turned out, and he traced a doctor and a dentist that were giving all these drugs out. And then he got shot in some kind of weird drive-by shooting. He got shot through the window of his house, someone driving by his house. I found a newspaper article about him as well. So at the time, people were looking into it. It was weird. Because I always think it sounds fucking strange when you listen to like Eric Clapton. Some of the interviews I've heard him talking about the drug dealers who were selling him drugs. It just sounds fucking strange. It doesn't sound normal, like normal. Normally you have to go out and try and find the drug dealer, you know what I mean? It's like, but these people just had thousands of people just offering them really, really heavy drugs all the fucking time. Hmm. Yeah, well, certainly what he had when he was busted at that chain walk house, yeah, was very pharmaceutical grade. But no, it sounded quite like he was quite badly addicted though. There were spoons on the back of his toilet cistern just left about. And I think when he's pacing about in the bedroom and trying to go to the bedroom, I think that's because he was withdrawing and he needed a hit sort of thing. He was quite addicted. But there were pills he could have, and they were just letting them bloody handle stuff as well. So he probably managed to take a methadone pill or something. Yeah, it sounds like he was quite addicted. Yeah. Talitha Getty Dodd was in the same 12 months period as Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Edie Sedgwick, and as noted Jim Morrison, and other cultural icons of the 60s. And our friend was Brian Jones as well. Yeah, Brian Jones was another one. He was another guy who was busted a ridiculous amount of times compared to, Mick and Keith as well. They've only covered their bust so far. There was 1 year where they bust him 8 times, I think, or something as well. Yeah, I have a cat. Yeah. No, methadone wouldn't. You're thinking of Subutex, which is a more modern drug. Methadone wouldn't put you into withdrawal. Methadone's a completely different drug to heroin. It's a synthetic opiate, in it. Subutex is the one, or Suboxone, or whatever the fuck they call it. Different brand names for the same stuff. But Subutex is the one that has the blocker in it, yeah. So it would make you feel withdrawal if you took it. Methadone is the old-fashioned one that the Nazis invented. On the screen so people can see what I respond to on the playback. Yeah, that's the one, yeah. Suboxone or Subutex. Yeah, Narcan is what they inject you with if you're ODing, isn't it? Yeah, Narcan wipes the heroin out your system. Because yeah, that's what I was thinking they might find in his house, because that might explain why people like Keith Richards and Mick Jagger and all that never OD'd. So I was thinking, because if you're rich enough to pay private doctors, you could just have a vial of Narcan and get the doctor to tell you, because all they have to know is your weight, right? So they just tell you the correct dose. Like, oh, if you do have OD on opiates, inject this much, because it doesn't have to go into your vein. So your mate can do it. Your mate can just fucking bang the needle into any part of your body, and it would save you. So I thought, yeah, I bet they had Narcan in their house, but no, they didn't find it when they busted Keith Richards. YouTube has a 2-minute black and white video of John Lennon's 31st birthday party. It was him, Yoko, Phil Spector, Ringo, all jamming on guitars. Pardon me, sorry, the tonic water's fizzy. So what, Yoko with Phil Spector and Ringo? And possibly Dylan. God, so his 31st birthday. Bloody hell, what year would that be? I don't fucking know. Who can go and research that quickly? When was John Lennon? What year was John Lennon born? So what year would he be 31? Yeah, they had the soldiers on meth, and they were all addicted to morphine, and they ran out of morphine during World War II. That's why they invented methadone, to give the morphine addicts something to take. Yeah. Yeah, that's the point of it. It's supposed to deter you from actually, because methadone you can mix, you can take heroin still, sort of thing. So yeah, it doesn't really work in that respect if the person still is tempted to go and do heroin. But with Subutex or Suboxone, yeah, you can't take it. You can't take heroin. It makes you ill. 1971. So that would be 1971. That he was with Phil Spector and. Yeah, I think all the militaries did. I think the RAF were giving them as well. Were given speed pills. Yeah, they did worse things than invent methadone. Yeah, they do that. Yeah, I think fucking most militaries tried experimenting with it. They used to give everyone speed, not just soldiers. Fucking hell, it was prescribed to everyone. Your nan probably had speed. Has there been any evidence that they were forced inside a car during the night? Well, no. But the theory is that is why they were taking them outside, and that's why the blood is outside. Is that they were walking them towards the cars, but at one point someone tries to run or something goes wrong, and they just start stabbing them outside. So yeah, not towards the actual car, but the blood outside, and the blood like quite far away from the door by the bush suggests they got quite far away from the house before something went wrong. So yeah, I think that they were trying to take them towards cars, and they were probably going to go to Jay's house because maybe there was drugs hidden at Jay's house or whatever. Because apparently someone went in and cleared out Jay's secret room the morning of the the murders were discovered. So we'll never know what was actually at Jay's. No. You ever seen the film of Hitler at the Olympics dancing his ass off? No, I don't think I have. I probably have. I just didn't see it. Yeah. American soldiers were and a lot of American soldiers got addicted to heroin during Vietnam as well, didn't they? Were smuggling heroin back. It's another big controversy that they cover up about Vietnam. Yeah, in the film Flatliners. Have you seen? Remember that? I think it was it 90s. I think it would have been early 90s, maybe late 80s. Kiefer Sutherland and what's her name, Julia Roberts are in it. And it's these doctors that have found out that you can bloody enter the afterlife, and then if you're dead for a fucking only 2 minutes, and then they bring you back to life or whatever. So they all start going into the afterlife with weird and ironic consequences when it comes back. But yeah, the whole crux of what I was saying was Julia Roberts' dad was addicted to heroin from Vietnam, and that was her secret shame, wasn't it? Yeah, in that film. So you think they might have taken Jay and Sharon somewhere and then killed them when they got back? Possibly. Because there was definitely still noise coming from Cielo Drive all night. Like you can hear, and a lot of people try and dispute bloody that the sounds came from Cielo Drive, and you can't prove that the sounds came from Cielo Drive. But no, I'm pretty sure. Fucking, you can because of how high up it was. There's not many places if the sound came from that direction where it could be coming from other than there. So there was another house above it, wasn't there? Yeah, but that was like way above it. I can believe that the sound reports are reliable, saying that there was people there all night. And in the Manson file, Nicholas Schreck says that he has heard from a reliable source that actually Jay and Sharon died first, and that Gibby and Wojtek were left tied up for hours, and that was how they and they came back later and killed them later. But that's like a total reversal of the events, as I've always seen it, and thought that it looked from looking at the evidence. But yeah, that's a completely reversal of the events, isn't it? Like actually Sharon and Jay died first. I think Jay and Sharon ran and got killed. If anyone got taken anywhere, is on. Yeah, you think might be Gibby? Oh, which one? Rosemary LaBianca. Do you mean there's there was something about she had put a dress on, hadn't she, or something like that, and that's the thing that people thought made people think. And the way the boat was apparently suggested that they had pulled out and the car had gone somewhere and come back again. So yeah, maybe from the LaBiancas they took them somewhere to get money, because Charlie does apparently end up with money that he goes and pays to the straight Satans. But also Lino worked in a supermarket, didn't he? Though he had just been fired, hadn't he? So like, but would he still have had keys and access to the safe and all that sort of shit? And like the army smuggling drugs. They still do it. Someone getting his via body bags from Afghanistan. Yeah, because Afghanistan is where heroin comes from at the moment. Yeah, yeah. It's all in the police report. It's all stuff that all the sound reports that the police recorded. And if the police thought that they were relevant, then fucking they must be relevant, mustn't they? Somehow. Yeah. Noise reports all the way down to 4 a.m. And at 1 a.m. is when that you hear the big, oh God, no, no, someone screaming, no, no. Please, no, her man, and all that sort of shit. Yeah. Multiple reports of gunshots and screams very early the next morning. The woman screaming at 4 a.m. as well. I often thought, is that Mama Cass? And I finally found the guy who in his biography said that Mama Cass confessed to him that they did. Someone did call. Someone did call to report the woman screaming, but apparently it was a party house. There was always a lot of noise. People have been reporting the Volkswagen Dune buggy and the bike going up there for weeks and all that sort of stuff. Well, no one knows. It doesn't say in the Jimmy Webb book. No one knows what time she was supposed to have been there. But she was just about able to talk about it, and then she suddenly died. Yeah, so she had just like clammed up about it and not spoke for years. But there's a woman heard screaming at 4 a.m. So I always thought it's her. Never heard of a motorcycle going up to the house on the night of the murders. But someone says that they had been concerned about a motorbike that was going all hours over the month leading up to the murders, but they didn't say they saw it on the night of the murders. See, that's another fucking thing as well, which is uncertain. No one really knows exactly when. Because I doubt the entire timeline of everything now, because the timeline tells you they had left by 1 a.m. and they were in that guy's garden hosing off at 1 a.m. Well, I don't believe that. The noise reports totally contradict that. I don't think they had even left at 1 a.m. Who knows how long they were there? Because initially, I don't believe that they charged in and started robbing them immediately. I believe they went in there as guests and were sat with them, and a fight broke out, basically. So they had actually been there for some time, maybe even. Because apparently the Manson family used to do distraction robberies as well, where they would send the girls in with a bloke, and they would get the girls to distract everyone while the bloke went off through the house and tried to rob people. So who knows? Maybe they were trying to do that, and they realised they were getting robbed, and so they started arguing with them, and that's when it went wrong. Well, who knows? Yeah. Your new one is on the way. So I would recommend, if you're in America, just wait for the American edition to come out. Don't bloody bother, because it's been so hard for it to be shipped to America. The cleaner, the housekeeper, the next morning discovered the scene, didn't she? The next morning. The housekeeper, we've just said, fucking hell, are you listening? And someone's reading it. The housekeeper discovered it the next morning, didn't she? Yes, according to Chaos, innit? Yeah. She called an hour before. He called Reeve Whitson is supposed to have known before, obviously, isn't he? So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, this has been going nearly an hour. Yeah, so I don't even know if I'll leave this one up. Difficult to know if any of the new people are here, but I think some of you are, aren't you? Yeah, and it's good to just a random chat stream, and I'm hopefully going to get the bloody Operation Chaos one done next week. Yeah, I don't know exactly what time. People are saying what time the maid fucking discovered the phone call, the fucking bodies. I can't be asked to look it up right now. But yeah, it's in Helter Skelter. It's very easy information to fucking find. Just look it up. I don't know. I've just said. My God, I've just said I don't know, and I can't be asked to look it up right now. Just go and fucking look it up. It's in Helter Skelter. It's everywhere. Just go and look. Yeah. Me, no, I can't drive. No, I don't want to get a car. Yeah. Where did that come from anyway? Where the fuck would you say that? Suddenly. Why should I get myself a car? Where the fuck did that come from? How do you know I haven't got a car? I'm not drinking raw gin. I've got tonic water in it. Fuck's sake. Is there no one else in the chat? Come on. Am I going to put the timeline up? No, there's no point now, is there? 9 a.m. Winifred showed up at 9 a.m. There you go. No, I'm not. Yeah, well, we've been going for an hour now anyway. So, yes. I'll probably wrap it up. I said I don't even know if I'm going to leave this one up. I probably won't. Because, yeah, nothing that interesting got said, did it anyway? But yeah, next week I'll hopefully be doing the Operation Chaos thing. Anyway. So, yeah, I'll end this now. Thanks for coming, everyone, anyway. And, yeah, I hope you have a good week. And tune in next week where I'll talk about Operation Chaos.